founder market fit is ridiculously important, and maybe it's just underappreciated from my perspective, but I don't hear a lot of people talking about it anymore.
What is it?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Founder market fit?
Yeah. So like, if
like finding market fit?
No. Like, you as a founder, do you fit with the market that you're trying to sell into? Right.
Oh,
and so
I don't hear this about ever, basically.
Yeah.
So that's a great point.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Tell me more.
Yeah. So like the idea, one way that BotBuilt has been described by outsiders is that we're white collar workers, with a blue collar attitude, right? And so that lets us engage in construction, right? Like this is probably the longest I've gone without cursing for several days. Right? And
you didn't have to do that.
I know, but like I don't know. The kids might watch. So
yeah. So funny.
But like it, there's superficial stuff like that, but there's also like, do you share values with your customers? Right? And if you don't, maybe you don't want them as customers, right? Because it can be really hard for you to have any kind of customer empathy, if you're not, like, if there's not some kind of value alignment there.
How would you know about that? I guess looking at your values, but I do think it's also very easy to delude yourself into something that seems to be lucrative, where you're like, oh, I could be interested in that, or I'm sure I'm interested in this altruistic purpose, even though it doesn't align with who you are and what you're actually interested in. Like, how would you find that? Because that seems like a good introspective challenge that I think a lot of people will struggle with.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, it's just what I gravitate towards, right? And so, like, I enjoy hanging out with construction people. So that's kind of how I.
That's a simple answer that I think is kind of it.
Right. Yeah. Like, it's just yeah, there's just something about the market that you want to go into that you find interesting or fascinating, because at the end of the day, like, it's going to be deeply frustrating, right? Like,
totally,
there are so many things that are going to go wrong, and so many people that I'll butt heads with. Brent, our CEO, is amazing at being friends with everyone. So like, as a founder, like, you just have to, like, what's going to get you through whatever that frustration is.